Hello everyone, so I'm here today at the opening of the Salesforce AI Centre to learn more about what Salesforce are doing to drive AI innovation, creativity and growth within the United Kingdom. And I get the amazing opportunity to speak to the CEO of Salesforce UK and Ireland to learn more about how they're upskilling the next generation of AI talent.
We've moved past pilots. We're now in the era of execution and execution at scale.
The UK government have set ambitions to upskill 10 million people in AI by 2030.
Yeah.
How are Salesforce contributing towards this, focusing on young people and future trailblazers?
Well, first of all, I'm delighted that they've set that level of ambition. I think we really needed it in this country. And we launched our Future Trailblazers programme. We are pledging to help meet that commitment. And I've asked every single employee in Salesforce and part of the wider ecosystem to get out to schools and teach the young people today, both in primary and secondary schools. Give them the primer on AI, open their minds and get out there and teach the folks out there, because we need more people embracing AI.
What do you think young people bring to AI innovation?
They've embraced it, and I think they will bring verve, and they are thinking about ways to apply it in ways that we've never ever seen before, generating revenue streams, creating content and applying it in very, very unique ways. And by the way, I would just say, look, I mean, we're surrounded by children here.
Yeah.
You've got primary school children and secondary school children. I really believe in our Trailblazers mission, because I just am so excited to see how they're going to embrace it and how they're going to apply it.
Some young people are fearful that AI is going to take their jobs. What would you say to young people and children who are scared of that? And what are some of the opportunities that they could look forward to?
I think it's really easy to feel fearful. And with anything, it's about learning, about training, and about embracing it. I would encourage everybody to just try it. Try it. I think the barriers to entry and the barriers to trying are so much lower. When I graduated, I had to be within I had to go through quite a formal and structured learning process in the workplace to kind of learn how to code, just to be able to do something quite basic. We're way past that now. That barrier to entry is so much lower and so much more accessible. So I think learn it, embrace it, enjoy it. Don't be fearful of it. I think action is the antithesis of anxiety, and the more action we take and the more self-responsibility we apply, I think the less anxious we will be about it.
What is one skill that is critical in order for us to be successful in this AI era?
The human-to-human connection remains truly important. I think number one. Number two, I would say critical thinking is at the heart of being able to utilize AI properly. I think having your own point of view and using AI to help you judge from different angles or test your thinking will enable you to get to maybe a richer outcome.
This is a physical manifestation of everything that you've just shared, right? In terms of human-to-human interactions, the fact that you're actually bringing the young people into your offices to learn, but also see their future in tech in the offices where they could be working at in the future. It's really important. And critical thinking, I guess, the human-to-human interactions allow us to use AI alongside our peers to think about the ways we can use it innovatively rather than just sitting behind on a computer and just typing away.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. When you think about AI, you're probably thinking about its use within the financial services, within healthcare. But very little do we think about it in the context of conservation, biodiversity, and the environment. Well, I'm here today with John Townsend to learn more about the applications of AI in other industries that we don't often look at. In this case, its application within the National Trust.
We've got some amazing members and supporters, but we've got to really reach out to new audiences. We've got to be able to reach them where they are, not necessarily in our channels. And that requires a different approach. It requires a different approach to how we think about creating content, delivering personalized information to people in a way that they want to consume it. And that's different to how we operate today. And it's what we'll be using Agentforce in that context to help us build those hyper-personalized customer journeys at scale to engage people with the content that they find interesting. The idea is that they'll want to engage in some of the things that we're doing, whether that's engaging by donating their voice to the cause that we stand for, whether that's donating some money, that's always incredibly useful for all the other work that we do, or actually donating some time, to actually get involved with some of those things and experience firsthand what does it mean to do nature conservation.
I'd love for you to share maybe a case study of how you've helped people who are concerned, or this is a course for them to engage better with the work you do and how that's had impact.
Through this engagement, we can actually demonstrate through the data to say this particular area has got some problems with nature. The thing that I find fascinating is not only can you use AI to actually help you interpret that data and actually show what the problems are, or show actually how the interventions are working, because that's ultimately what we want to achieve. But also then you can use that information to engage with communities, because it's often communities that live in and around where those challenges are that they want to do something about. It's their space.
So how are you looking to upskill your workforce, building AI skills for public good?
So we don't want anybody left behind in this digital revolution. And there are so many great free resources out there. Trailhead is a great example. I'm an agent blazer on Trailhead, and it's a great way of learning how to actually utilize these new technologies. Once you've started on that journey, it's actually quite intuitive in many ways as well, but we've got to help people make that first step.
What responsibility do you feel like you have to play in ensuring the adoption of technology whilst meeting the business needs?
It's not necessarily a technology strategy. It's how we're going to enable the national trust strategy through digital data and technology, whilst also keeping the organisation resilient and secure, and keeping the information that we've got the privilege of holding private and keeping that secure as well. I see the role as the CIO in any large organisation really as an enabler to take those strategic outcomes that people are trying to achieve and think, well, how can we make that happen? Technology has got a vital role to play in all of that. And, new technologies like artificial intelligence are going to be a great enabler for most organizations out there.
I'm here today with Paul O'Sullivan, who is the SVP for Solutions Engineering here in UK and Ireland for Salesforce. And we're here today to learn more about how Salesforce have strengthened their relationships with Formula One.
It all went back to, how can I identify my fans? How can I drive fan engagement? And actually, they suddenly realized they've got millions of fans globally all across the country that they weren't necessarily interacting or engaging with. Most recently, we have built their Formula One Agent Force agent that, with all the regulations and the changes with the vehicles this year, you're now, as a fan, able to engage with that agent, ask questions, understand a little bit about the mechanics of the car, why has the rules changed, what does this mean for the race, and it's really engaging, really exciting. And it's everything you want as a fan when you build up to that big day and you want to watch your driver get across the finish line.
How does this strengthening of partnership benefit the drivers as well?
I mean, what we can see behind us now is the F1 simulators that we've built here in the Salesforce AI Centre in London. And you think about, from a driver perspective, being able to capture the data, take all that telemetric information off the vehicle. And these are things that are happening in real time. So things like, what's the weather conditions, what's the data on the car, what sensors are telling me, and actually being able to adjust to your driving style. And in these simulators, when customers or anybody comes along to the AI Centre, they can have a go, they can get a profile on their driving ability, and a few tips or tricks by the agents that we've built to complement that experience. It's really exciting because I think this collaboration not only gives people those immersive experiences, gives them a stronger level of loyalty back into Formula One. I'm interested, I'm passionate, but also it's that engagement throughout the life cycle, right? So as things change, as things evolve, you start to get more and more information about your favorite driver or anything like that. You get the latest information about what the race is coming up, what might change. So it's fascinating for us when we think about the partnership, because the possibilities here are completely endless. We can do so much more with the technology now that's available to us, and supercharge it and power it by AI as well. So it's really exciting. For young people who are starting to see how the technology is used, they're passionate about their favorite driver, whoever that might be on the track. but they're also then intuitively or curiously wanting to learn more about how it all hangs together. How does it all work?
Yeah.
And we're hoping that by bringing that to life with our technology, we can inspire young people to be engineers of the future, you know, potentially building the next Formula One car. Or you might be looking at the aerodynamics and how that might actually play a role on, you know, how fast your car can go, the handling time into the corners and things like that. So I'm really hopeful that this will inspire the next generation of engineers, whether that is mechanical engineering, software engineering, or AI engineers of the future.
So I'm here today with Relina Bolshandani, who is the EVP of Real Estate and Workplace Services. And she has a really interesting journey with regards to applying her real estate knowledge into the field of technology. I'd love for you to talk more about the importance of, you know, real estate within technology and how that's helping drive the workforce.
I think we're at this incredible inflection point where AI and technology is just moving so fast, bringing both together intelligently, you know, creating AI immersive experiences, and then actually having spaces and services that help employees, customers, partners thrive is kind of nirvana. It's a very exciting time right now for us.
What are some of the things that organizations should consider when they're looking to implement AI from a design and workspace perspective?
Don't take your existing processes and planning and then add AI to it. I think you got to have a beginner's mind, really taking a step back and thinking about the user journeys from a human-centric way. How do folks learn? How do we create together? How do we like to take a break and get a tea and chat with someone about what you're doing? So we really start with human user journeys, and then we layer in the AI immersive experiences. But for me, what's really powerful about where we are today in this AI center, it's really about a network of spaces that work for different folks.
What were some of the, you know, things that you thought about incorporating as you were building out this AI center?
Number one, we wanted to be really flexible and adaptable, right? And then the second is, from my perspective, we really wanted to be inclusive. So I think we're taking our employees, customers, partners, the communities that we're in on this journey of AI fluency, really understanding the power of our platform with AI, and most importantly, humans working together, right? So we really started there and said, what are the most flexible, adaptable spaces? Today, I want to train a bunch of future trailblazers, you know, students, exposing them to AI. Tomorrow, it's a customer that needs to work with solution engineers on a new solution. So it was taking this moment to say, you've got to be flexible, adaptable, and you have to harness the power of technology without it being burdensome and too much, right? And that's how, if you see our spaces, there's a pop of technology that pulls you in. And then there's a moment of pulling out. There's a lot of access to natural light. That was what really drew me to this space 2 years ago. There's plants. So we have our design guidelines where we spend a lot of that time thinking about how do people want to live and work and play together. And it makes it really interesting because you're not designing for a specific employee group, right?
Now everyone's combined, and you can definitely see that Salesforce is leading the way of ensuring collaboration across all industries through the physical manifestation of this AI center.
Yes, I mean, you're spot on. The close proximity is really important. And I think even you picked up on the transparency. So all our glass is transparent. We might have decals because we want folks to really we don't want to have barriers. We want folks to innovate who typically don't innovate together. We want casual encounters in the social lounges. Very intentionally designed. We think a lot of adjacencies, who should be sitting with who. And we don't want to have this formula that it's only for very pristine space for customers. We have those spaces in our portfolio, but this is for innovation, connection, collaboration, kind of co-creation.
And I think it's an inclusive way of inviting everyone, regardless of their background, into the conversation around technology.
Yes.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of our conversation. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully it's inspired those of you who may have thought, oh, I don't belong in tech, to see that there's a vast range of opportunities where you could contribute your skill set to drive AI's growth here in the United Kingdom.